live cultures. No big deal. One more step towards becoming my mother and I'm okay with it. Screw you, Bruce. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the vlog. It's been too long. I've been too busy, but a lot of that busyness had to do with me taking some time to hang out with my family in Florida last week, so I really appreciated the extra space and time in my brain, and I'm trying to sort of maintain that vibe now that I'm back at home. I have a tendency to overfill my time. We've talked about this in the past. I refer to it as running from the devil. It's like if I fill every single second of my day, of my life, with some kind of purpose, then depression won't catch up to me. And honestly, what it's doing is it's just like creating this nasty ecosystem in my body. I'm getting tension, headaches, I'm not sleeping well, my digestion is suffering, things like that. And a lot of times we don't realize how much like stress is affecting our lives. And so I'm just kind of trying to unload a little bit of my task masteryness that I tend to do with myself. My friend Cami was joking with me yesterday. She sent me a podcast. It's an episode of the Goop podcast where someone was talking about manifestation, and she's like, you know, what are some of your like daily tips for like manifesting your, you know, ideal future or whatever? She's like, well, if you're an Aries, it comes so easily to you. You tend to manifest things really quickly and then realize you didn't want that thing in the first place. And she's like, Jackie, that's me. So yeah, I'm just kind of slowing my roll a little bit. And then when I got back in town, after spending a lot of time with my mother in Costco, because it is like one of her happy places, I was like, you know what? I'm really tired of going to the grocery store every single freaking day and worrying about what we're gonna eat for dinner every single freaking day, and probably spending like $70 at the grocery store every single time that I go, because I'm just like, oh, it's gonna get a little bit of that, so there's a little bit of that. And Central Market in Austin is, of course, you know, it's a high-end grocery store. That's where I tend to go. So anyway, all that to say, I figured that I would minimize one stressful task in my life that's kind of always in my mind, and I would get myself a Costco membership and I would go grocery shopping once and just see how far I could get on it. Now granted, when you buy fresh things at Costco, well, they're still in bulk and you gotta work really hard to eat those things before they go bad. But I did also buy a lot of things that can be frozen, and I am going to now show them all to you, because as soon as I posted about my Costco membership on Instagram, a lot of you guys messaged me and asked me to do a haul, because you're like, hey, you know, you eat healthy, what do you buy at Costco? And I do think that buying at Costco, buying in bulk, there's a little bit of strategy that you have to employ when you go in there, the same way you do anywhere, where you just kind of like, you know, try and get your head straight before you walk in so you don't just get tempted by a million things. But buying in bulk often tempts us to buy things that we wouldn't normally buy, at least me, especially in the like processed food category. And I have to tell myself, just because they have my gluten-free bread here doesn't mean that I need to start eating bread again. Like, I don't eat a lot of bread. It like bloats me even if it's gluten-free. It just doesn't make me feel very good. And just kind of taking inventory of like, if this were at the supermarket, would I spend my money on it? Or am I just wanting to buy it because it's cheaper? Just keep that in mind. A lot of this stuff is the sort of stuff that I buy on a regular basis anyway. And so I just bought a lot of it. So we're going to start in the freezer here before my refrigerator starts beeping at me for having the door open too long. Chicken thighs, and if you are unfamiliar with Costco, oh my God, that weighs so much now that it's frozen. There are, I think like maybe 4 in each of these, and then there's 6 of these little things all together, and then you can cut them apart and thaw them individually. So that's 24 bone-in, skin-on chicken thighs, which is what we eat anyway, and it was $12.22. Really? Yes, really. That is really impressive. The next thing that I got was this gigantic, I'll actually show it to you out here. I got a gigantic slab of salmon. It was like 3 times this size, and it was a little more expensive. I think it was like $20, $22 or something, but we eat salmon all the time, and I cut them into these kind of like, I don't know, it's like 3/4 of a pound fillets. And then this is what, actually I'll pull out the thawed one. Hi, Tweety. He's like, meat, I love meat. How do you smell it even though it's frozen? Like, I don't, It must be crazy to be a bloodhound and just smell in 12 dimensions. I know. He thinks we're eating food. Okay, so here's one thought. This is a gigantic, like I said, I'm just gonna say gigantic a lot. This was a huge slab of marinated carne asada. It's like a, I don't know, like a skirt steak or a flank steak or something. And I had it for dinner last night and it is phenomenal. I thought Mike was going to be home for dinner, but he ended up having to go to the airport. And so I thawed enough for 2 people. Actually, I thawed enough for like 4 people because I have leftovers from last night, but I also froze a whole lot of those and that wasn't very expensive either, but I'll be cooking that up soon. Basically, the only planning that really goes into this is just, you know, figuring out what you want to eat the morning before and then thawing it all day. So I also got this big thing, oh my god, it's so heavy, of ground beef, and it's so funny because you'll reach into their cases to grab a pound of ground beef and you realize that they're attached to 2 more pounds of ground beef. It's like, really? Yes, really. I'm going to continue to be baffled by the sizes of everything in there. Then I realized that I have been spending like $11.50 with tip dollars a day every single day on my smoothies that I love so much, which it gets me out of the house. It's good, but at the same time, like, that's a lot of money. I got some stuff to do smoothies with, and we already had some strawberries and bananas and pineapple and stuff, but I got, well, that's just a huge thing of blueberries. And this right here, and all this liquor is not liquor I drink, it's from our wedding, so don't judge me. Look at this! Frozen freaking avocado chunks! Are you kidding me? I don't know if you guys have ever had an avocado margarita, but there is a place here in Austin called Curra's. It's just this like really good like interior Mexican restaurant. And they do margaritas that have been blended with frozen avocado, and it is like next level. But they're also really, really good for just, you know, using as kind of a substitute for banana in smoothies and stuff, just to kind of mix it up. They're obviously not sweet. You'd have to add like extra sweetness, but they're really good. They make everything really creamy, and I think that like smoothies often lack for creaminess. So yeah. On to the fridge. This is a super honest fridge tour here. I'm not actually going to tour my fridge because this is a nightmare. So I just got a handful of things in here that I plan on, you know, eating in the short term. So the first thing my mother recommended was this bag of 6 absolutely gorgeous heads of romaine lettuce. I need to clean these. They last longer, I think, when they're cleaned. But yeah. It's delicious. We go through lettuce like crazy, and it's definitely like an easy purchase. Also, since we are, you know, we are Italians at the end of the day, we got this. This is some prosciutto di Parma. It's like the same brand that I get at Central Market, but it was, you know, for 2 of them, I think it was like 10 bucks, something like that, instead of like 8 for 1. And then a gigantic thing of fresh mozzarella, because we eat a lot of caprese. Got a huge thing of Kerrygold that, I don't know, it's like hard to see, but that's what we always get. And that's what I really appreciated about Costco, was that it's stuff that I usually get. Like it's all the same brands and everything. It wasn't some weird off brand in most cases. Did I get anything in here? Oh, look what I did get. I think I might have one of these right now. You know, you usually pay like $4 for a kombucha, and this whole thing of 6 was $10. And I was like, okay. Flavor trilogy is raspberry juice, lemon juice, and ginger juice. So that's the trilogy, and it is probably really delicious. I haven't tried it yet. So my mom and I fell in love with the watermelon flavor when I was back in Florida. But I love all of these because they don't have any sugar in them. Do you want it though? We're not done with the haul yet. I just wanted to taste this. It tastes delicious. I love kombucha. I love it. And yeah, this brand Synergy, a lot of them you have to watch out. A lot of them are chock full of sugar, and this one doesn't have any sugar in it. So very much appreciate that. Just some live cultures. No big deal. Everybody's like, oh my God, unsubscribe. One thing that I got that I'm not sharing here is a bromeliad. They had bromeliads there and they were so beautiful. I will stick a picture of a bromeliad in here because I don't have a picture of the bromeliad. They are a beautiful tropical flower, and I got a pink one and I gave it to my friend Cami for her birthday. So brought that over to her house yesterday and she loved it. And it was just, I mean, I love adulting and giving people plants. Like all of my friends, it's like I can rely on a few things for a birthday gift that I know that they're going to love. A plant, a candle or a bottle of wine, and they're just gonna be like, hell yeah, I'm gonna use that, you know? Let's take a little break here and talk to Monster. Hey bud! Man, you guys are thriving. They love that I work from home. And then I hung my I hung my picture plant out here. It didn't really do very well while I was gone. The little pictures aren't doing all that well. I figured maybe it'd be better if I put it outside and just, you know, let it rain on it, let it sunshine on it, and just live its little life. But I just got this from CB2, and it is a lot freaking bigger than I thought that it was gonna be. And I mean, they do have a smaller one, but like this thing, now that it's full of soil, like my only fear is it really is like as heavy as a bowling ball, and I'm scared it's gonna like fall or blow and just like become a weapon. I don't know. Hey baby. Hi sweetums. Oh, never enough cuteness. What is it? You get your bone. And that is the guts of a plant that just died. That's the Majesty palm that Bruce killed. I had to pull the roots up yesterday while I was replanting a bunch of stuff. And that is the sarcophagus. I will buy a new Majesty palm though, because, well, screw you, Bruce. I think that's, oh, and then this. The biggest thing of basil pesto I've ever seen in my life, and it was $6.99, so we're big pesto people. And then I got this huge thing of Campari tomatoes, which looks like a lot, but honestly, you make one caprese salad and you use like 8 of these. And so this really isn't that big of a deal. It'll probably last us a week. And then here's my pantry, which is, you know, I'm an Aries, okay? And Mike's like a Piscequarian. We're not earth signs. Not a single one of us. So like this is just the condition of things. But I wanted to show you, I bought a bunch of these Ziploc freezer bags so that I could freeze all the stuff that I bought. And I'm gonna kind of basically keep pouring like boiling water in there and cleaning them out so that I don't, you know, I don't anticipate ever having to buy this again. They had unsweetened almond milk in these containers. I didn't realize when I bought a box there are 6 of them, so I think we're gonna be good. Oh, and the only other thing that I got, I'm looking at a picture of it on my phone, is I got 2 giant things of CeraVe moisturizer because I am honestly, like the rate at which I go through lotion, I can't keep buying $40 bottles of lotion. It's just not gonna work. And so I bought some of the just basic CeraVe moisturizing cream. It was 20 bucks for a size like this, and then one that's like half again this size in one packet. So I spent a total of, I think, $218.80 at Costco yesterday, and I'm like overwhelmed with the amount of food that I have to consume. The only real stressors being, you know, the fresh stuff, like the 6 heads of lettuce and the tomatoes. Everything else is just, you know, totally fine where it is. That's another thing to keep in mind when you're shopping in bulk is make sure that, you know, you're not stressing yourself out. Make sure that you're not buying a bunch of stuff that you're like gonna like, you know, that's going to add stress to your life. I know I'm going to go through all of those Campari tomatoes. Like that's not a question for me. Yeah, I would say that those are the 2 things. It's like, make sure that you are taking into consideration what you're actually going to be able to consume versus like what's perishable, and you know, freeze things and stuff like that. And then also just really think about what it is that you would normally buy without kind of the influence of something being inexpensive, because my mother will always be like, hey, they have like gluten-free crackers, and I'm like, I don't eat crackers, you know, that's just not something that's part of my diet. Like I don't sit there and snack on crackers. And she's just like, but you know, they're gluten-free and they're really inexpensive. And it's like, but they're not something that I eat. So like, even though it's there and it's inexpensive and it's cool that they have it, and I'm glad that they do, it's not something that I'm gonna spend my money on, because I don't need to integrate a carbohydrate like that. I mean, my body doesn't really love simple carbohydrates. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying carbs are bad. They just don't make me feel that awesome. I don't need to like integrate something like that into my diet just because it's inexpensive at Costco, I guess is my point. So, you know, just keep in mind the ways that you like to eat, and also the frequency with which you eat. I'm home all the time. I feed myself, and now, you know, without the smoothies, I'm gonna try and like not do the smoothies all the time that I'm buying for myself. I'm going to, you know, eat 3 meals a day at home, essentially. So just bear all of these things in mind. But I'm so excited about my Costco membership. I'm so excited, you guys. I'm so excited to be an official suburbanite. And I mean, for $200, like all this stuff that I got, like that's, It's pretty impressive. I don't know, I grew up in a household where my mother always had so much food, and that's how she loves people, you know? Like, that's how she shows love, is she cooks for them. And there's always, like, I would always joke, and I mean, it's a joke, but it's not really a joke. Over the course of the day, the later in the day it is, when you ask my mom what we're having for dinner, the more things we're having for dinner. Because like, she's either run into something that she thought would be good, she's gotten inspired to cook something and decided that we're having it tonight, or she's just like remembered something that she meant to cook. And I grew up with like friends who would be like, their parents would say things to me like, you know, we'd love to have you stay for dinner, but I don't think that we'll have enough. And it wasn't because they were like not able to afford it. It was because they just bought enough like for that day, like a European does, you know, like that European style of grocery shopping where you go to the store, you go to the market, and you buy what you want to cook for dinner that night. And you know, it's in portions and things like that. You don't buy in bulk. And that's just, it's just a different way of doing things. It's not bad. And so I just realized, like being home with my mom, I was like, I want to be that person who's always able to feed people. Like I want to buy like a small chest freezer and just have like stockpiles of good healthy food and always be that person who's like ready. So that's what I'm doing. One more step towards becoming my mother, and I'm okay with it. So that's the video, guys. That was my Costco haul. Do you guys want me to do this every time I go to Costco? I don't know, I feel like Costco is like a treasure trove. It's so awesome. There's a bunch of stuff that I wish that they had. Like I wish that they had like candles. They should totally have candles. And I wish that they had like home decor. That would be so freaking cool. But so far, Costco is knocking my socks off, blowing my mind, and I can't wait to take Mike with me next time because they have so many things that I think Mike is gonna get excited about. If you liked this, guys, give it a thumbs up. Let me know down below what you buy at Costco. What are your favorite little treasures at Costco that I have to go check out? Let me know. And if you are new here and you discovered me somehow not through my main channel, go ahead and subscribe while you're here. Maybe you just enjoy vlogs more than you enjoy makeup content. That's allowed. Thank you guys for watching. I love you, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. Who's the best? It's me. Oh my God, you're the greatest. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What a good cat. What a good cat. What a good cat. That's a very, very good cat. What in the world are you doing? I could just do a live stream of Purr Monster and probably get way more subscribers. I love you, buddy. I love you.